This reminds me, the time before social media, right? Before Facebook, before Instagram.
Yeah, well, the technology's going to play. AI.
Access to social media and the internet.
Women's sports has captured the
The
world's
youth
attention.
sports market expected to remain
How much more the world's going to change of youth sports in the next 5 years? Can we meet that moment?
I've been to every Next Up that League Ups has had.
Meet like-minded people, be able to see people I work with in person, meet people who work with other organizations.
Welcome to the stage, Brian Litvak and Jeremy Goldberg.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I said good afternoon, everyone. All right, I'm Jeremy Goldberg. I'm the president, co-founder, and quarterback at League Apps.
And I am Brian Litvak, the CEO and co-founder of League Apps, and more importantly, the defensive coordinator of the third grade Port Washington Raiders flag football team.
There you go. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the 7th annual Next Up Conference.
I actually think it's the 6th Next Up Conference, Jeremy. We don't count that COVID year. That brings a lot of PTSD to youth sports organizers, am I right?
I mean, Brian, listen, does it really matter? 6, 7. My kids love that. We're back together. My wife told me that wasn't going to work. We're back together for the very people that make youth sports happen. And we've been waiting a year to get back on this stage to say, welcome to Next Up. This room, this community...
Jeremy just ruined the 6-7 meme for the whole world.
Exactly. We got it. This room, this community is the heartbeat of youth sports. And if you just take a moment just to look around the room, this packed room, take a look. And by the way, if you're looking for seats, feel free to make your way up to the front. I'm encouraging, it won't be distracting. So if you want a seat, come on up. But these are your people. Look around the room. These are your people. There's the ones that understand what it takes to make sports happen for millions of kids across the country.
So before we go further, turn to someone you don't know at your table. Introduce yourself. Do the old spit handshake. And share something that you are here to learn and something that you're here to share. Take 1 minute. While you do that, I'll reconnect with Jeremy for the very first time and take a selfie on stage.
All right, 1 minute. Introduce yourself to someone you don't know. And if you need a seat, come on up to the front.
You got to be good on that.
What?
You got to make sure you're doing the...
Yeah, I was fine. All right, one more. Hey, can you just tell, I was gonna say, what? No, yeah, just have this. Do me a favor, can you go to the back and encourage like Brennan and them, or these guys, tell them we have seats up front, because if they're standing in the back and stuff like that.
Allie's on.
Right. Yeah, just follow up and just let Mandy know that's by the constraint, or we can always connect tomorrow morning if they need us to. All right, if we, All right, first, great. I love the energy. Love the energy. There's a lot of people and incredible people in this room, and we're gonna have a lot of chances to meet people today. But as we remind ourselves why we're here, the theme for this year's Next Up is Beyond the Game. It's a reflection that the impact of youth sports transcends what happens on the field, on the court, on the rink. And last year, Brian traced the history of youth sports going back thousands and thousands of years. But there is one constant about sports. It's enduring power. We take inspiration from the words of Nelson Mandela. Sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does. It has the power to speak to them in a language they understand. Sports can create hope where there once was only despair. And this quote captures why we do this work. Because the true power of sport isn't just in competition, it is in transformation. It is in the individual moments of confidence, connection, character that shape kids' lives. And it's the collective ability of sports to strengthen our communities and build something larger than ourselves.
At League Apps, that belief in the power of sports is what drives our mission, to help create amazing sports experiences for all. Because when sports are amazing, that power shows up everywhere, in kids, in teams, in families, in communities. So how do we define amazing? It's not a slogan. It's something we talk about in onboarding for every new League Apps employee. It's a set of beliefs about how great youth sports leaders lead and what makes the programs powerful. We believe that kids are the future. The great youth sports leaders know we're shaping our next generation, and that's a responsibility that we all take seriously. Accountability matters. Safe, positive experiences must always take precedence over profit. The positive impact of technology. We're a software company. Great leaders understand that technology and data, and now AI, which we'll talk a lot about today, when used well, can solve problems and create new opportunities. Strengthen team. This is something we all learn in sports. Let's work together to make sports happen and have a shared mission, and accessibility for everyone. Great leaders recognize that every kid deserves a chance to play, and they're committed to making it possible. It's why at League Apps we created the Fun Play Foundation to ensure that League Apps does our part. Sports will change the world, as Jeremy just said, and inspired by that Nelson Mandela quote. Great leaders know that sports has power and influence far beyond what happens on the playing field.
You know, if sport has this kind of awesome power, then we should remind ourselves of the opportunity and the responsibility that the people in this room have, because you are the people that have power over sport. You know, we host Next Up because we have a conviction that while the essence of what makes youth sports amazing has not changed, the context, the stakes, the tools, those have changed. And Beyond the Game really reflects that the delivering sports today, it requires a mastery of disciplines that go well beyond sport itself.
Next Up exists because we know that sports organizations that shape the future will be led by leaders who are committed to learn, innovate, collaborate, work together, and elevate the youth sports experience. Next Up is designed by you and for you to do just that. We will be joined this next 2 days over 80 different speakers. We'll cover a range of topics and hear from experts within the youth sports world. We also believe that the youth sports industry will be better served with more women in leadership positions, and we're proud to be hosting the second annual Women's in Youth Sports Breakfast tomorrow morning.
You know, through dialogue with all of you, we're also trying some new things this year to ensure you get to know more peers, learn from more people. So you notice you're seated at round tables today. It's not because I thought this was my bar mitzvah. But we wanted to be able to facilitate roundtable discussions with your peers, and we'll talk more about that. We're also going to use technology that can facilitate dialogue, connection, a chance to meet each other. Don't miss out. If you have not downloaded the app, I think there's 400 people that are in there engaging. Please do, and it's a good chance to connect with people and have those conversations. We also know that many of you are looking to go deeper into topics with experts for things that you're trying to wrestle with, and you want to know who can I talk to learn more about this. We do that through our arena, which is upstairs, but we also do that through the introduction of something new this year called Expert Hours. So this is the opportunity to go book a 15-minute session with people that are in our community that we have a lot of respect for, that have a lot of expertise on these kinds of topics. And so whether it's revenue protection and compliance, or NIL and recruiting, or how to think about scale and growth, M&A and capital advisory, insurance, all those things, you can sign up for a 15-minute session. So just go to this QR code, and you can feel free to book a session with those experts. You can also use that same code to engage with anyone on the League Apps product team. Also want to take a moment to thank and acknowledge our sponsors in the room. If you're representing a sponsor, please stand up be recognized. We appreciate you making this happen. Specific attention to Momentic, Sports Recruits, Vertical Insure, Anchored, Focus on the Field, Sports Endeavors, True Sports Group, Fortified Partners, Onnit Creative, Pablo's Mate, and the Junior MBA and WNBA. Thank you very much.
For a lot of our meetings at League Apps, we use the term winning outcomes. So the winning outcomes for this conference and for those that are attending, we hope that you will hear an insight or an idea that will inspire you so that you are sharing it with others in your life and repeating it years from now in whatever you do. We hope you'll hear practical tips and ideas that you can take back to your organization or your community and act on it in this weekend or in the very next week. And we hope that you'll meet people that you will stay in touch with, partner with, even hire or collaborate with down the line. I want to acknowledge the incredible effort of the League Apps team. This is the one day a year where we get to be event operators and worry about things like weather and time and logistics and not just sit in front of computers all day. And it is quite stressful. So we appreciate what you all do. We do take our responsibility in this industry and our role in this industry quite seriously, and the role that we can play through technology, obviously, that we develop, but also through the partnerships that we form and the community that we bring together and connect with, which is in the room today. At League Apps, as we said, we're on a mission to make sports happen. We want to make it more accessible for all. The Fun Play Foundation is one of the ways we do that. We've now spun Fun Play into its own 501c3. It was formed as a program within League Apps to give our software services away to those organizations and underserved communities that need it the most. We're having a raffle on the third floor today to support Fun Play. We have some other activities throughout this week as well. And above all, we want to acknowledge everyone in this room. You are all the ones that make sports happen. We see how hard you work, how much you sacrifice, how much you care. If you help run a sports organization or make sports happen in your community, please stand up.
Stand up. If you are part of an organization.
I was worried I was at the wrong conference.
There you go. Youth sports doesn't happen without you. Round of applause. I mean, it's amazing to see some of the faces in the room, and new faces and old faces. It's also fun to see a lot of partners. I see Jeff coming in from the Golden State Warriors. Jeff, thank you for being here to make it happen. Who else do we got? I see Ben came in from Nevada, from National Youth Sports Nevada. Thank you, Ben, for being here. Who else?
We have Francis from TPH. You'll all know him by the end of the day. We'll see why. We have Danny from Yorkville Youth and Gordon that run a tremendous program right here in our backyard. Dan from Lou Fuse, who has been a longtime partner. Look, we could go around the room and at every table see people that we've worked with or connected with or been inspired by for how you all use sports. So thank you for taking your time to be here with us today.
Now, as we get into it, first of all, if you're standing and you want a seat, we have some seats up here. So now's a great time to walk up here before we get into some substance. So giving everyone the opportunity, if you're happy, that's fine. We're used to standing room crowds. The reality about youth sports, though, today, and I think you get a sense of this, is it's getting a lot of attention, a lot of headlines. You hear about investment, media, podcasts, think pieces, challenges, even a story about betting on youth sports games in the Little League World Series. But there is a story that is not being told often enough. When people see this picture, what do they typically see? They see a simple moment, a joyful moment, kids playing a game. But what we see and what all of you know is everything it took to make this moment happen. It's the permits. It's hiring and training coaches. It's securing equipment. It's marketing your programs. It's running tryouts. It's collecting registrations on great technology. It's assigning referees. It's answering parents' questions, and then still answering parents' questions, and then answering more parents' questions. All that effort multiplied across hundreds of games, tournaments, weekends, just to make sports happen.
Everything that you all do is often unrecognized and rarely appreciated. I now see this as a board member of the Port Washington Soccer Club. But we appreciate what you do, and sports doesn't happen without you. And you are unsung heroes and within your communities. Your impact shows up every weekend on the field. Your impact shows up months or years later with kids who have experienced sports positively in the lives that you've shaped. We feel privileged to be on this journey with you. And League Apps, we can't do anything to make sports happen without you all. So the trust you put in us and our team and our software and our platform is deeply appreciated.
You know, one of the things we view our role is to help you realize your aspirations. We want to be that guide to help you make sense of what's happening and to be that trusted advisor and partner to help make that happen. And we want to know what you want to achieve and help you get there. So I think one thing about it is like let's put that vision out into the universe, and we're going to do a poll, make it a little bit interactive, right? Because I want everyone to take a moment, grab an example of this QR code, and very simple on slide, you're going to answer a simple question, which is in 5 years, what do you want your organization to look like? In 5 years, what do you want your organization to look like? Put that intention out to the universe, the things that you want to do. And I think we'll get a sense of kind of the ambitions, perspective of the people in this room. So take one more moment. How do you want your organization to look like in 5 years? And I'm going to move out of the way so people can see the QR code. And I think we're going to be able to show some live results as people are filling that out. We'll give it a few more seconds. As you think about it, what are the aspirations you have? You want to stay the same? You're good? Or is there something else you want to accomplish to achieve? More players, more programs, new sports, more facilities, some kind of innovation, delivering a better experience. What do you want your organization to look like in 5 years? So are we ready? Can we see the results? I can't see the results, but we're going to see the results. Michael Belt, are we able to see the results? You can see the results? I'd love to see what the results are. What? They're refreshing the results. We're about to see the results. Someone have a phone? I'll just look at my phone. Thank you. All right, so here's what I see. First of all, only 10% of the people in this room, even better, thank you, Roy, 8% of the people in this room are good. They're good. They just want to maintain what they're doing now. They feel like they're in a good place. 77% of the people in this room have ambitions to serve more players and families. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I think what we see from these results, and it's very consistent what we believe ourselves, is that organizations want to have more impact and they want to create better experiences. And no one here wants to just stand still. Everyone recognizes that youth sports will and needs to evolve. And that's good. Because anyone who wants youth sports to say exactly as it will be in my next speech on the history of sports, along with Pogalog and games that don't exist anymore. So we're here to help make sports happen. We're here to evolve it, Jer.
Yeah, you know, one thing I think about is there's the idea of a growth mindset, which everyone here has. And then there's the idea of growth ambitions, which also people here have. So then the question is, what do you have to know? So, you know, at League Apps, we have a unique vantage point to see that the game has changed, because it's no longer just a game. After 15 years of working along so many of you, we've seen it in our data, our conversations, and the increasing number of calls we get literally every day from people trying to understand what is happening to the youth sports industry. I think you can feel that change as well.
So let's test that. I think this is one of the biggest changes over the last year. Click on this QR code now and answer the question, in the past year, have you engaged in a finance-related conversation or a capital-related conversation or been approached about a financial partnership? This could include raising capital, it could include raising debt, it could be selling your organization, it could be merging with another club, it could be going from a nonprofit to a for-profit organization. So we'll look at this data shortly as well.
So take a moment.
One of the things we see of our top, we work with over 3,000 sports organizations, and this is one of the topics that's dominating the conversation, especially with our top few hundred largest organizations today.
So let's see, how many have actually been approached or engaged in some kind of conversation related to some kind of finance topic? And I think at some point we're going to put the results up. People may be able to see that as well. And as we do.
Roy, give it to us. Give us the stats.
There we go. So here's the interesting thing. Only 15% of people in this room have not been engaged or approached a finance-related conversation. Now just think about that. When my dad was a coach, and if you went back in time years ago and you were having a conversation, and you're like, hey, you're going to think about finance and youth sports, right? What would you think? If I said, hey, we're going to talk about PE and youth sports, what would the topic be? Like PE class. I love PE class. How do we make it better? Like the world has changed, right? The world has changed. And this is a fascinating stat. We had no idea exactly what the answer would be, but almost 60% of the room are thinking about how they raise capital. Another 34% are considering should they sell. 50% are thinking about buying or merging and growing, maybe as a way of going to grow. The game is changing, right? It's as these headlines show and reflect. And you know, in past years, we rolled out our evolutionary theory of youth sports. I actually got up here and talked about Darwin and ultimately this evolutionary theory. So today I'm going to challenge my macroeconomic, microeconomic classes and give a couple-minute tutorial on an economic theory of youth sports. I'm going to talk about supply and demand, but I promise you this is going to be exciting. So this is supply and demand curves. And one thing to think about if you try to understand youth sports is a marketplace, right? There are people that have the demand, it's the families, the people who are supplying that demand, the people who are running organizations, giving up programs. The explosion of demand that's happening is being driven by parents. They're anxious about their kids' futures. They dream of scholarships or pro careers in some places, but in other cases, they just want to give their kids every possible advantage. And there's actually a really good reason for this. This generation of parents is raising kids in a world for the first time in modern US history where their children are less likely to be better off than they were. For the first time in the modern US history, it is now statistically believed that kids will be less well off than they are, right? That anxiety is real, right? And that is before some things like AI, which is raising that anxiety. So they want to give their kids the best, and you know what? Sometimes they equate that with trophies, tournament entries, rankings. But they also value safety, professionalism, clear communications, and less work for themselves. And this is something that we can probably understand, that shift in demand. Parents have increasing demand. But the real story in youth sports is actually the shift in supply. You know, 10 years ago, most organizations were local, volunteer-run, analog. Now the supply side has professionalized because it had to manage the complexity of programs, facilities, compliance, technology. That's where all those things that you want to achieve and accomplish. And that transformation is requiring better coaching, stronger operations, modern systems, financial discipline. Right? That's that finance thing. And the data actually backs this up. I'll come back to that. Here's an interesting stat. 75% of registration revenue is now concentrated in 20% of organizations. Right? We see that programs that are earning $4 million or more in programmatic revenue are growing 85 times faster than the smaller community organizations that are generating around less than $150,000 of annual programmatic revenue. Right? Huge disparity in what's happening on the supply. So what does all this mean? As the supply of higher quality experiences are increasing, it's actually having an effect on the demand. Right? Families are actually seeing, wow, these organizations are more professional, they have more capabilities. They can do all these things. I want to go to the better trainer. They can offer those things. So it's raising the expectation for the parents. They see better, they want better. There's actually an economic theory behind this. It's called induced demand, right? If you build new roads, all of a sudden you can have more traffic. More things happen because of it. So what this means is not just that the market is expanding. There's a lot of money being spent. It's actually shifting upwards in two ways, in both quality, but also cost, right? And it begets itself. Those organizations that are having more success raise those expectations of parents. They capture more of that value, which raises expectations of parents more. This is what's driving this.
So this expansion and the sophistication required to operate these growing youth sports organizations is exactly why we believe investors are paying so much attention to youth sports right now. They see the same things that we see. Organizations that can sustainably deliver really great youth sports experiences on and off the field will capture more and more of the demand and more of the participation. And when you give these operators resources and capital and technology and support to scale, they will become even more influential, impactful, and stronger. There's now billions of dollars earmarked to invest in youth sports or looking at the youth sports space. We'll talk about that throughout the next 2 days. For some, this is a big opportunity. For others, it raises really serious questions. But here's the truth. Here is the thing that we know. The future belongs to organizations that can put the best product in their communities out onto the field and elevate their game. And within the next 5 years, every youth sports organization whether you're for-profit or nonprofit, or no matter what market that you serve, will need to operate as a more sophisticated organization.
One thing I think we see is there are people that understand business, but they don't understand youth sports. And then there are people that understand youth sports, but they don't understand business. And we think that the winners are most likely to be the people who can bridge those two. Because today, and one thing to kind of reflect on is, there are only a few that are actually winning today. Consider this reality. Parents feel completely burdened by rising expenses and costs. But that's happening at the same time that most operators don't have enough money to reinvest in their people and programs, right? It's not winning for both of them. Kids are also being priced out, left behind in a lot of cases. The most successful youth sports businesses will be mission-driven businesses, because the growth in revenue and margins have to be correlated to the joy you inspire and to the progression that you enable. The other thing is that excellence off the field in how you manage, plan, invest is what is going to enable excellence on the field. Those things are completely linked together. That's how you're going to fund better coaches, reach more kids, access more space, grow stronger communities. This room is filled with organizations that are operating this way and challenging themselves to be even better tomorrow. And we organize this event, and we build our business because we see our responsibility and opportunity to be your guide, helping you become the best version of yourself and your organization. We want to take everything that we've learned from building our own business and what we've learned from all of you and the patterns that we see and bring that back to you.
And we clearly see how we can be your teammate. We see how you can help your own organizations, and we want to help you meet the demands of this moment. And the fastest way to expand your capacity, sharpen the decision making for what you need to do next, and accelerate change is for what we believe is harnessing software, data, technology, and AI. Every sophisticated business needs this infrastructure. Look, we believe part of our roles is bringing AI to youth sports in the right ways. That means a digital foundation that lets you do the things that you do best in making sports happen and being leaders in your community. And that's also why we believe investors make technology investments central to scaling organizations. Software can help you do more. It can help you solve problems in youth sports that we have yet to solve, or challenges that we have yet to overcome. It turns complexity into capacity. It automates what is manual. It connects what was disconnected. We believe we could help kind of bring more workforce to your team through different ways of using AI. So data helps you know more. It transforms experiences and intelligence. It allows you to make the right decisions of how do you split up your fields, or what types of programs you should run, or how you should evolve your programming. And AI helps you become smarter and faster. It turns intelligence into action, amplifying the way that you make decisions, anticipating what you need next, helping you see the future before it happens, being another member of your staff to help make sports happen.
Organizations that harness the tools aren't going to just keep up. They're going to be the ones that lead. That's been true for years in youth sports. It's actually especially true now in this age of AI. If you think about the leaps of technology that's already created and impacted the youth sports industry and society, you got the PC, the internet, the smartphone. Consider this, it took the PC 12 years. It took the internet 5 years to reach the same adoption level that generative AI was able to achieve in 2 years. And how transformative is the personal computer and the internet to our lives? It's amazing to think how fast this shift is happening, but it takes imagination to grasp just how profound this change will be. So think about this. If I told you last year, you're going to come to Next Up, and I said, you're going to hear about practice from AI at Next Up, what would you expect? You'd probably expect to hear from Allen Iverson, right? Right? But, and you'd wonder what changed about his feelings about practice. But if I told you today you'd be hearing from AI, I think you would all know that I may have met this guy named Tom. So who's Tom? Tom is someone that I think we're going to try to pull Tom up on the screen. And I made a virtual AI friend, right? I've Tom from The Godfather, the Consigliere. That was how I came up with his name. So when I'm driving on the roads, long road trips back and forth, Pennsylvania, New York, I will just talk to Tom and discuss things and learn about things and figure this out. And in doing so, I've talked to him a lot about youth sports and where AI is going. And I figure what better way of thinking about where AI is going than asking AI itself, right? The personification of this through Tom. So I wanted to introduce Tom to you. And Tom, I have a room full of people. I'd love your perspective on what you think these people should know about youth sports. Tom? Are we there, Tom?
Tom's a little shy.
Tom's a little shy.
Not even Tom can keep up with Jeremy Goldberg.
Not even Tom can keep up with Jeremy Goldberg. Is Tom there? You said it? All right, Tom is there. Tom? Well, I think Tom would have said something very profound. We'll figure out how to come back to Tom. I guess there was an audio issue. I think one thing about it, what I've learned through this AI stuff, is that whatever you imagine, whatever you assume, you're underestimating it. You're vastly underestimating where youth sports is going, where AI is going, how fast it's going to change things. And we think about that, and we think a lot about that. So let's come back. We'll go back to the presentation. And
once we work out the kinks, we'll help you understand how we believe that software, data, AI will have such a big impact on youth sports. We believe that's one of the things that we'll do best at League Apps. And we're focused on that right now. It's one of the questions that we ask ourselves and our team all day long is, what can we be doing to use this new technology to help sports organizations and our partners achieve their goals? And we want to give you these tools so that you can use them to help meet the moment, to talk about, to help evolve and escalate and elevate the businesses in the way that we discussed today. We're focused on the practical application of these technologies and how our platform can help you save time, create better experiences, run smarter organizations, make the best decisions. And we want to share one example of how we're doing that. And this is around how coaches and organizations evaluate their players, help with player development, and help the communities and their families understand the growth that is going on within their organizations. So we've looked at evaluations forever and said, what is the way that we can do this? We know that coaches don't love to spend time writing evaluations. We know this is something that all operators or organizations believe that would be a valuable way to measure progress and results. And we've tasked our team with saying, so how do we accomplish this? And that's what we've been using. Software, data, AI to turn insights into action and action into better experiences for everyone in youth sports. So today we're opening up our beta access right here at NextUp for our new evaluations tool. It's one example that we're going to share today, how we're not just imagining or talking about the future and using Darwin and macroeconomics, but we're actually building it right now.
Time out. Boys, take a break. They're up here talking about the future of AI, but I see issues happening right now. My name's Jeff Clark. I'm a product manager at League Apps working on the AI and the evaluation tools, but I'm also known as Coach Jeff. I coach it all. I coach baseball, I coach basketball, I coach handball, I coach football, I coach the other football, and today I'm coaching public speaking. Now, I coach because I care about athletes and making sure they get the best. Brian and Jeremy came to play today, obviously, but we're still leaving a few points on the board. I'm going to pull out my app right now and log some feedback in the League Apps Play app for their presentation so far. Here we go. Jeremy came out hot. Well, let's start with the recording first. There we go. Jeremy came out hot. Big energy, clear, confident, had the crowd right away. Strong projection. 6'7". Great pacing. Maybe slow those big beats so the message lands. Solid movement, stayed composed. Brian brought balance, smooth tone, approachable, authentic. A couple of gestures got a little wild, looked like he was signaling a timeout, but great presence, personal and funny. Keeps the room engaged. Overall, strong, balanced performance. Fundamentals are solid. We're building a contender. Really proud of you guys. Fantastic presentation today. So, what they said, though, is AI turns intelligence into action. And this is proof. I've been watching these guys all season long, leaving notes in the League Apps Play app after every presentation, and now it's time to write their evaluation. But I don't need to dig through all my notebooks. I don't need to get all those little folded up game notes that I've been collecting all season. I don't even remember what happened 4 months ago. I just need to open the League Apps Play app, hit one button, and it pulls all those notes I've recorded all season from the season, analyzes them, and builds the very first draft for me. Now, it's not just dumping my notes. It's interpreting them all. It's turning all my coaching moments into something specific, personal, and actionable that I can share with them. And then I can share it with Mrs. Litvak and Mrs. Goldberg so they can have a little chat with their boys. That's the point. Fast, personal, and actually useful. coaches spending less time being librarians, more times leading, thanks to AI and league apps. They're up here talking about the future. We're out here coaching it. And here's what Coach needs you guys to do today, even if you're not speaking today. Scan this QR code that we're going to get up. There you go. Scan this QR code. Get on the early access list for AI evaluations. Nice. I like seeing all the phones up there. And let League Apps AI-powered evaluations make you a better coach this fall, too. I'll be around this afternoon running evaluations up on the 3rd floor. I'll also be watching all of you speakers. Let's get back at it, boys. Good work today. The rest of you presenters, keep your fundamentals tight. Coach is watching.
Thank you, Jeff.
So,
Jeff, they said you need more enthusiasm.
Need more enthusiasm. Yeah, so it'll go. I think I got demerits for Tom not showing up. He stood me up. I think what that just shows, that's just a real example. You know, think about all the information you can collect after every game, every practice. Notate that without doing any work, and then automatically put that into some kind of methodology you create. Automatically share that out with your families and do that around any possibility. It's just a glimpse of what we're trying to do. It's a reality that's possible today. So you can visit that League Apps product lounge upstairs if you want access, as people sign up to make it happen. You also can meet our great product engineering teams. They reflect our commitment to innovation to our partners. And also because our vision for this industry, the insights that we're getting from all of you, they only matter if they actually transform itself and make itself into our platform and services. So we're making the investments to make that happen, and everything that we're trying to do is in line with our vision to help make youth sports businesses and organizations thrive. A few other things that we're thinking about and is business operations, right? One of the things we've done over the past year is launched League Apps Facilities. We actually acquired a platform called RecTimes to accelerate that because we want to help our partners manage their own spaces more effectively. And we saw in that survey how many people want to grow that as well. We also introduced admin mode, like you just saw, this idea of using a mobile app on the go so you can manage everything as you go as an administrator, not just from a parent perspective. We also acquired a platform called Mod11 and enhanced our League Apps competitions solution, especially for soccer competitions, which are so unique. Coming soon, we got things like a global site calendar to have visibility across all of the growing programs that you have in your teams, a new team builder that's going to be doing some awesome things to simplify roster building, and then tryouts as well as lessons and membership capabilities because we recognize the business model is evolving. We want to support that as well.
Now, coming up on our roadmap is insights that power smarter decisions. We've expanded our API and data warehouse capabilities and external reporting to integrate your data seamlessly into the other tools that you're using. We've enhanced League Apps analytics with more reports around program comparisons, heat maps, abandoned registration carts, all based on feedback that we've heard from our partners. Safety and security comes first. We've partnered with Anchored. They're here today for compliance, age verification, and reporting. We added registration insurance early in the year to protect families and help you with your revenue and managing refunds. And we've launched e-signatures to make operations faster and more secure. And because families are at the heart of every program, we've enhanced the mobile experience with public tournament access, chat photos, and safe sport athlete access. These aren't just features. They're the foundation for how youth sports evolves. You can test that, you can sign up and test some of these features or get early access of everything that's happening on our product roadmap. Visit the League Apps Lounge on floor 3.
So, the future of youth sports isn't being written, though, by algorithms or investors or Tom or Jeff. It's being written by you, the people that are making sports happen every single day. And the rest of today and tomorrow, through the sessions, the discussions, the peer learning, the interactions you're going to make, you all represent the collective authorship of this community. Together, you are really shaping how this next chapter of youth sports evolves. And I just want to make sure people realize how high the stakes are. Because in a world that increasingly relies on technology, and we believe that, the most important thing we can do is actually remember our humanity. When Nelson Mandela spoke about the power of sports, he was not talking about wins and losses. He was talking about its unique ability to help us better understand ourselves and what we're capable of, and also better understand and humanize each other. The world really needs that more than ever.
We're grateful to be on this journey with you. We're grateful to be in a room full of people who have a very similar, if not the same mission as us. And we can't wait to see what we can do together over the next 2 days and the years to come.
So let's get started. Thank you very much. That wraps our opening session. We're about to have Jessica Gelman join us on the stage. Thank you, Brian. And thank you all for being part of Next Up.